Recitation 11. So we want to solve quadratic equations. We want to apply completing the square form. Let's see this, the first one. We want to solve this by completing the square. So talking about quadratic function, we have two kinds of forms, standard form and the vertex form. When we set the function equal to 0, we're trying to find the x-intercepts. Okay, let's see how do we do this. So basically, we make sure the coefficient of x squared is 1. In this case, yes, it's indeed 1. If it's not 1, we factor out. So once the coefficient of x squared is 1, we focus on the coefficient of x. In this case, it's -6. So -6, we divide by 2. Then we get -3. So what are we going to do is we're going to add -3 squared, then subtract -3 squared, because we're adding 0. We're adding 0 here. But then we have x squared minus 6x plus -3 squared. So these three terms will give us x minus 3, which is this one, squared. Right, then we have minus -3 squared is 9, minus 9 plus 4. That equals 0. So this 2 gives us -5. Then we move -5 to the other side. We get x minus 3 squared equals to 5. Then we square root both sides. So now we have perfect square on the left-hand side, so we can square root. So square root both sides, and when we square root both sides, we get a plus minus for this value. Square root cancel each other, so we have x minus 3 equals to plus minus square root of 5. So we add 3 on both sides, or move -3 to the other side, become positive 3. We get 2 solutions for this equation. So x equals to 3 plus radical 5, and x equals to 3 minus radical 5. So 2 solutions for this one. So we want to rewrite this function in standard form, identify the vertex. Okay, I guess the standard form in this case is f of x equals to a multiplied by x minus h squared plus k. So if we can write this function in this form, then we can identify h comma k as a vertex. Okay, so basically we have a completing a square. So that means f of x. Now the coefficient before x squared is 2. So what do we want to do? We want to factor out this 2. But we only take these 2 terms. So we leave -4 in the end. So we take these 2 terms, we factor out 2, get x squared plus 6x, then minus 4. Right, so it will still, if we multiply 2 with x squared, still get 2x squared, multiply 2 with 6x, we'll still get 12x. So we didn't change anything. But now we're going to add, I'm going to change my color to be blue. So I'm going to add 9, because 6 divided by 2 is 3. So I want to square 3, which is 9, and subtract 9 inside the parentheses. Okay. So by doing that, we have 2 times x squared plus 6x plus 9 minus 9, then minus 4. We can always add a 0, right? Because plus 9 minus 9 just adding a 0. But then these 3 terms x squared plus 6x plus 9 give us a perfect square. So we write as 2 times x plus 3 squared. You see this 3 comes from here. So then we have minus 9. Minus 9 times 2, that's minus 18. Then minus 4. So we rewrite this as 2 times x plus 3 squared minus 22. Now let's compare this with this standard form. So a in our case, a is 2. H in our case is negative 3, right? Because this is a minus, x minus. So this has to be minus negative 3. So h is a negative 3. And the k is negative 22. Because the k is a plus k. So k is a plus negative 22. So then our vertex is negative 3, h, k, negative 22. So this is the vertex for this function, f. So the steps is just completing a square, write down in the a times x minus h squared plus k form. Now let's see 3. 3, we want to write this circle in standard form, identify center and radius. So the standard form for a circle is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals to r squared. Then in this case, h comma k is the center of the circle, and r is the radius of the circle. Okay, so we want to completing square. So put x squared and 6x together, then y squared and the negative ay together. So write it as x squared plus 6x plus y squared minus ay. Then we move positive 13 to the other side, becomes negative 13. Now we do the same thing. We take, because the coefficient of x squared is 1, coefficient of y squared is also 1. So we just take the coefficient of x, 6, divided by 2, we get 3. Then negative a, coefficient of y divided by 2, we get negative 4. So what? We're going to add 3 squared, which is 9, on both sides, add 9 on both sides. Then negative 4 squared is positive 16. Also add 16 on both sides. Then we get x squared plus 6x plus 9. Then plus y squared minus ay plus 16. That equals to negative 13 plus 9 plus 16, right? This gives us a perfect square, and this gives us a perfect square. So we write it as x plus 3 squared plus y minus 4 squared. That equals to negative 13 plus 9, negative 4. Negative 4 plus 16, positive 12. So comparing to this, we have h comma k, which is the center of the circle, is negative 3, positive 4, right? Because this is a minus negative 3. And the radius is the square root of 12. Well, square root 12 is square root of 4 times square root of 3, so which is 2 radical 3. Let's see 4 and 5. 4 is the same thing. We want to write the circle in standard form, identify center and radius. So we want to move 24x to the other side. We want to move 30y to the other side. We will write it as 3x squared minus 24x plus 3y squared plus 30y equals to 0. Now we want to divide it out by 3 because we see 3 is a factor of every term. So we just divide by 3. Then we get x squared minus ax plus y squared plus 10y equals 0. Now, negative 8 divided by 2, that's negative 4. So we want to add 16 for these two terms. We want to add 10 divided by 2, that's 5. 5 squared, 25. So we want to add 16 on both sides and add 25 on both sides. And these 3 give us x minus 4 squared. And these 3 give us y plus 5 squared. That equals to 16 plus 25, that's 41. Right? So the center would be positive 4 and negative 5. Right? Because in the standard form is y minus k. So it's minus 5. And radius r is the square root of 41. Because in the standard form, this is r squared. So r is the square root of 41. That's the last one, 5. Same thing, right? Standard form of a circle, identify center and the radius. Now we see every term is even. So that's divided by 2. Then we get x squared, then we write the x term together, plus 6x. Right? Divided by 2, get 3x. Then plus y squared. You know what? Maybe we don't divide by 2. Oh, yeah, we need to divide by 2. Y squared divided by 2, 2y squared divided by 2, y squared. Then ay divided by 2, negative ay divided by 2, that's negative 4y. Then 12 divided by 2, that's 6. So plus 6 on the left-hand side, move to the right-hand side, become negative 6. Now we have to get into a fraction. Because 3 divided by 2 is 3 divided by 2. And we want to add this term square, which is 9 over 4. So we're going to add 9 over 4. Right. We're going to add negative 4 divided by 2. That's negative 2. Negative 2 squared is 4. So we're going to add. So we have negative 6. So we're going to add 9 over 4. Add 4 on both sides. By doing so, we get this 3 becomes a perfect square, x plus 3 over 2 squared. Plus this 3 is a perfect square, y minus 2 squared. Then adding this, negative 6 plus 4, that's negative 2. Negative 2 plus 9 over 4. Well, then we can change negative 2 to be negative 8 divided by 4, because we need common denominators, right? Negative 8 divided by 4, indeed, negative 2. So we get negative 8 plus 9, 1. So we get a quarter on this side. So then the center is negative 3 over 2. And the 2 center. And the radius is half, right? Because square root of 1/4 is a half. Okay, that's the recitation 11.